Hello everyone, hope all is well. I'll only be doing this question because I realize many people are struggling with it, and instead they're trying to memorize the answer and just put it in the exam. And it's always better to understand instead of memorizing. So it's a very easy question. You just need to solve it in a very simple way. That's it. You don't have to solve it the teacher's way. This is the way I learned. Basically, you have the integral. Given w of x equals integration of 40x over 2x squared minus 1 squared dx. Now, before anything, I just want to introduce something to you. We have du, alright? We have du over derivative of u, okay? Now, all of this is equal to dx. So you see this dx over here? Yeah, this dx is equal to du over derivative of u. So to solve in terms of u, to make it an easier equation to integrate, we need to substitute, or basically substitute this equation here by u. So just keep it as u. So what I mean by that, let me just show you. So instead of just having it like this, do it integration of 40x of u squared, u squared, alright, instead of the equation, to make it simpler. So we can also apply the rule we said, which is dx equals du over u derivative of u, or u prime. Now let's substitute dx by du over u prime. Handwriting is horrible, sorry guys. Du over derivative of u. What's the derivative of u over here? It's 4x squared. So 4x. You got 2x squared. The other one's a constant, so we just ignore it. So how do we derive that? You multiply by 2, you get 4x, and you subtract 1 from the power. So you got 4x as the u prime. So du over 4x. Now, since dx is here, we just do it times du over 4x. Alright? Let me just move this. Now let's simplify. You got 4x here, 40x right there. Here and here. So, as I was saying, you got 40x here and 4x. Now, you simplify. You cancel out the x's here, and you divide by 4 on both sides. So here it becomes 1, which is just du. So it's times du. And here it becomes 10, which is, since 40 divided by 10 is, 40 divided by 4 is 10, over u squared. Now you can integrate it easily. Okay, we have 10 over u squared du. Now we can integrate it easily. Let's integrate it. We also have to integrate it according to 1. Wait 1 minute, sorry guys. You have to do it like this, 0 and 1. Okay? So, like I said, let's integrate. Now, you got 10 over u squared. To integrate, you know the rule. You do 10 times. You always remove the constant, alright? You have to separate it from the variable, which is 1 over u squared, alright? We multiply the constant later on. So now we integrate this. You know the rule for integration. We have to do this. N plus 1 over x to the power of n plus 1 over n plus 1. Alright? So let's solve it in terms of that. So since it's in the denominator, we have to bring it up. So it becomes u to the power of -2 over 1. Now we integrate it. We know for power plus 1, you add 1 to it. And here the same power here, -2 plus 1. So you end up with u to the power of -1 over -1. Okay? Now now you bring the u to the power of -1 down, since we already integrated it. So you get -1 over u to the power of 1, but we just don't put it. So that's the integration of 1 over u squared. Alright? So now that's, let me just fix it, okay. So now that we have this, we can multiply the constant with it. So times 10. So you're left with negative 10 over u. Now you have this, the integrated form. Now you just have to substitute what they want, 0 minus 1. Okay. 1 minute, oh my bad. Okay, so like I said, we have negative 10 over u. Now substitute 0 and 1. Let's start with 0. When you substitute 0 in place of, oh by the way, you have to turn it back to the equation. Since you're at the final form, you turn it back from u to the original equation, which is 2x squared minus 1. But this time we remove the square, so now it's simpler to deal with. So substitute 0 for x. So you get negative 10 over 2 times 0 squared minus 1. Okay. Now you get the answer. 0 squared is 0, times 2 is 0, 0 minus 1 is negative 1. So you're left with negative 10 over negative 1, which is equal to 10. That's for 0. Now let's try for 1. Okay. For 1, you get negative 10 over 2 times 1 squared minus 1. Alright, just simply solve it. You get negative 10 over 1 squared, which is 1, times 2 minus 1. So you're left with negative 10 over 1. So in the end, for 1, you get negative 10. That's the answer for when you substitute 1. So as we can see here, for 0 we got 10, and for 1 we got negative 10. So since they want us to subtract them, they wanted 0 minus 1, right? So just do it. The answers you got: 10 minus negative 10. You know that minus negative just becomes positive. So 10 plus 10 equals to 20. And that is the final answer. So you just put 20 over here. Alright, that's it. Yeah, I hope you understood, guys. If you have any questions, ask in the comments. Yeah, take care. Bye bye.